Hey everyone, Bo Watson here with School of Lifetime Low Rounds, and today I'm going to show you how to stop hitting behind the ball. So if that's of interest to you, make sure to stick around to the end of this video, as you will eliminate those from here on out. Okay, so one of the biggest things that you have to understand in order to prevent a fat shot is you got to understand what causes it, right? So what I want to do is I want to show you real quick a foundation piece that I use for all of my students whenever I work with them one-on-one, and this is usually the first lesson that I use with all my players, and there's a big reason for this, because once you understand the foundation of what an impact position should look like, then you're more able to diagnose when things go wrong. Okay, so whenever I set up to the ball, and let me just back up for a second. The one thing that you have to understand first is when you look at all the great players in the game, right? You look at Bubba Watson, or you look at Tiger Woods, or you look at Dustin Johnson, Sam Snead, Ben Hogan, all those players, right? They all are all across the different spectrums, right? And if you look at the three big things that you always hear that people say are true fundamentals: grip, stance, alignment. Well, we can look at all the major champions across the game, and every single one of them have had a different grip, different stance, a different alignment, right? So we can't label those true fundamentals. So what would be a true fundamental? And when we look at all those different swings across the spectrum, right, there's only one area that we can single-handedly point out that is very, very similar across all those swings, and that would be the impact position. And so impact position, when you look at every single one of those swings, right, they'll get to a position like this where the weight's transferred to the left side, hands are in front of the club head, right? And the big thing that you have to understand about this position is when you look at where I'm at here, if I were to draw a line down my left arm right here, my club's not in line yet, okay? And it's not normally until that ball is hit and then it goes down into a divot. So I'm going to hit a shot from your viewpoint here, just a little half swing to kind of give you an idea, using the stick to mark where this ball is. And if you notice, ball position was here, clubs continue to travel down into the turf, right? So that would be what we would consider low point, right? Now, once we understand that, okay, when we understand that as the club is swung around our body, it's tracing an arc, and then inside every arc there is what we call a radius, which is a left arm and club that gets fully in line, right? And using that example right there, if I were at impact there, it's not yet in line, but as it got down into the bottom of the divot, now the left arm and club's getting in line. That's very, very important for you to understand, because now whenever you hit a fat shot, you're going to understand right off the bat the two reasons why that normally occurs, okay? So the first thing that I see 80% of the time that happens whenever a golfer hits a fat shot is whenever you're coming down, the left arm and club's getting in line too early. So as I were to make a few swings, notice how the left arm is now getting in line way prematurely, right, in the backswing, okay? So that would be the first big thing, is that this is getting too long too early, right? Now, let's say you started getting pretty good and you were able to fix that, right? Okay, you're able to get the club leading, the hands leading the club head like this, but what happens if the weight's still over here? Okay, even though the hands are in front, it still doesn't matter because weight is on the back foot. I'm tilting my spine, and that's what's making very little room for this left arm and club, the radius, to fit to the ball. Okay, so this is the measuring stick that you should be measuring all of your shots with, is understanding what is happening at impact, and then from there you can diagnose what's taking place, right? Now, one other thing that I want to just highlight, I know it's not the title of this video, but if you ever hit those fat shots, or thin shots, that's also coming from you over time. You're hitting it way too early back here, and then your body gets smart and starts sending signals to your brain, hey, we're not going to make enough room here, we need to pull up. And as I do that, look what's happening here with the left arm. with shortening. So then that's where you see that top shot, okay, or the thin shot. Now, here's a few things that I want to cover real quick that will help you get better at this. One of them is you're going to definitely want to take a look at how to release the club correctly video. I'll link that video down below, as that's a really good video on showing you where the hands should be at the release point. And I'm going to touch on it just real quickly here. If my hands are coming into a release point where the club is parallel to the ground right here, notice how my hands are inside the right thigh. Now, historically, for a lot of players that tend to hit the shots fat, is they're releasing with the hands outside the right leg, okay, for a right-handed golfer. And if you notice, if my hands start to release out here, notice how my hands are outside the right thigh and where the club is parallel to the ground and releasing. So then there's going to be more of a chance for that left arm and club to get in line sooner, which is not a good thing in this scenario, okay? So what we want to do is make sure that we hold those angles longer and then release, okay? So there's two drills I want to show you that you can use to really improve this. And one of them is you can take an alignment stick. Ideally, I would take like a can of spray paint a line right here. Andy Plummer, Mike Bennett, they talked about this in their book, and I use this for bunker shots, for entry points. This is a really, really good drill to make you more aware of where is your impact spot occurring, okay? So if you were to set up with a line on the ground, right, the objective is to make a few swings where you're coming down and you're making an impact spot on the line or just in front, okay? If you're hitting back here, that's exposing that you're coming in and you're making that left arm and club in line too soon, okay? Another drill that you can do that's the same thing with that is you can take a towel, okay, and you lay it on the ground back here like this, place a ball, I would say about 5 to 6 inches in front of that, okay? And the objective here is to work on not hitting the towel as you come into impact, okay? All right, now one of my favorite drills to work with preventing hitting fat shot is I like to tackle problems head on. And what I mean by that is I take a ball and I'm going to place it in a divot, okay? Just a little shallow divot like this, right? And the beauty of this drill is that in order for you to make a solid contact on the balls, you got to have the right angle of attack coming into the ball. If you don't, and you try to release early, you're either going to hit it fat or you're going to hit the top part of the ball, okay? So by placing the ball in the divot, what's going to happen is if you think of the club head like an airplane, you're going to be able to more accurately determine what is that proper angle of attack or angle of descent into the ball is, okay? And what you'll find is it has to be a little bit more angled downward versus coming in shallow and trying to pick it clean. Because if you do your normal swing, you're just going to hit the equator of the ball and that's still going to hit one of those thin shots, okay? So you have to change that angle of attack, right? So what you do is you set up like a normal swing and then change that angle of attack. Not bad. So thanks for watching. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe below and hit that bell button. That'll keep you up to date on all the free content that we're adding to the channel. And if you would like to drop 4 shots in the next 1 week, make sure you check out the link I posted below this video. This is the #1 course that is now helping every golfer that has completed the course drop an average of 6.8 shots off their game in 1 week's time. So if that's of interest to you, check out that link below. That'll take you to the course. And other than that, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, please comment below.